Hello everyone, my name is Omar. You may remember me as the guy who talked about the N-word and how it related to hip-hop culture. But today, I want to talk about a weapon of mass destruction. As I was looking for an article to talk about for this assignment, I was scrolling through and I found a dozen articles on Trump's actions and the Las Vegas shootings and ISIS, yada, yada, yada. And I was just scowling at it all. Every day I hear talks of the news is so depressing, I can't look at it anymore. Or news is so blown up and fake just to make ratings. I agree. But I'm scrolling through and I find one article in particular titled, Google and Facebook should take responsibility for misinformation and fix it. Keyword, fix it. And a light bulb clicked as soon as I saw that article. I said, I could do that. So I read it. And I came up with this conclusion. The biggest weapon that anyone can have is the internet. Think about it. ISIS has become so powerful because of its Facebook bots recruiting people. There are talks of the U.S. election, the 2016 election, being compromised due to Russia internet intervention. Think about it. People can use the internet as a weapon. But when we see these talks of the internet being used as a weapon, we often direct our attention to the people behind the screen, but we never acknowledge the screen itself. And so this article talks about how Google's algorithms and Facebook's algorithms allow these evil sources to spread their message quickly and efficiently. These algorithms allow these perpetrators to do their crimes so simply and easily. And there should be action taken to defend against that. But let's look at this from the sociological perspective. Let's look at this as a social functionalist. As a social functionalist, we need this. This is essential because without holes in Google's pipes, Google would never realize the issues that needed to patch up. If ISIS never did what it did, Facebook would not have such extensive moderator groups. Without 4chan accusing a man falsely of the Las Vegas shootings, we would never know how to moderate 4chan's activity. But as a conflict theorist, they would disagree because they would see this use of the internet as a power struggle, as an act of rebellion against bigger media outlets. Those of higher power have control of the media. Those of higher power have control of the internet. And those of lower stature can only absorb the information. And so they'll take whatever's given to them, fake news or not. Yet, as a symbolic interactionist, the algorithms are just fine. Because people are more likely to believe something that multiple sources say is true. And thus Google's algorithm and Facebook's algorithm plays into that. Thus, there's nothing wrong with them. Even though they're easily exploited, they're still the most accurate way to present reliable information. And yet I didn't agree with any of these sides at first. I'm thinking, what does weakness in integrity of Google and Facebook have to do with anything? They should have seen these attacks. They should have known better. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, wait, that would conflict free speech. If you were to just censor these people and filter language coming in through the internet, you would be violating the First Amendment. And then I thought to myself, wait, that's only a law in America. What about everywhere else? So I typed in internet censorship, and I came up with an article dubbed How Internet Censorship Looks Around the World. And in that article, they discussed the Mubarak regime in Egypt and how people were protesting against it. And so Mubarak, the leader there, said, and he cut internet access. No more internet access for the people of Egypt. And the people of Egypt got mad. And after just 18 days of protests, Mubarak had to resign. But the damage was done. Think about it. The damage was done. It showed just how powerful the people of the internet are. But at the same time, it showed just how easy it was to censor them. All he had to do was make a few phone calls. Then all of a sudden, Egypt just lost its internet connection. And let's look at this through the lenses again. From a functionalist perspective, censorship is necessary in order to establish order. You can't just say whatever you want when you're the president. Well, you can, but you get in trouble. You can't say whatever you want when you're a saint. There are boundaries to what you can say and what you can't say. That's what establishes order. But in conflict theory, this very order is what oppresses. Because those of power would want to oppress those of lower stature. And, to further compound on this point, symbolic interactionism supports this because people, under this philosophy, people don't like to be criticized, especially people of powerful natures. And so they will censor in order to block out this criticism. And this goes along with conflict theory by stating that because people do not like to be criticized, they will censor that criticism and put those of power down further. And I'm reading this, and I'm saying to myself, censorship seems to be like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it establishes order. It prevents hate speech. It prevents fake news and misinformation. But on the other hand, it limits people. It controls what we can say and what we can't. It can limit the sides of the internet. All sides, no matter how graphic. We should have a right to know. And so I wanted to ask you, the students, because I'm torn. I think we should censor, and that we shouldn't censor. But I can't pick either side. Do we let fake news go about its business and misguide everybody in exchange for saying whatever you want? Or should we limit what we can say, but also make sure that fake news can't get out there? What do you think? Looking at all of the lenses, functionalist, conflict, and symbolic interactionist, think, is censorship really the right answer? Or is it wrong?